After a fight, my girlfriend told me plenty of men would treat me better. She said I could walk out whenever I wanted. She expected me to beg. Instead, I said, "Doors open." Then I watched her whole world collapse. When she realized I actually meant every word I said, it hit her. Hey Reddit, my girlfriend always used to say she could leave any time. One weekend, I told her the door was open. Things didn't go the way she expected. Here's how it all started. So me, Marcus, 29M, and Serena, 26F, have been together for almost 3 years. We live together in a small 2-bedroom place. I work in IT, decent money, regular hours. I lift 4 times a week, play soccer Fridays and Saturdays, and usually hit a hiking trail with the guys when the weather's good. That stuff was already part of my life before Serena showed up. I never hid it. 3 weeks ago, Tyler, my best friend, dropped a message in our group chat. Boys' weekend, hike, soccer, crash at his place. Everyone agreed. Date locked. Saturday. I told Serena the same day. She said, "Okay, whatever. No problem." Fast forward to the Friday night before the trip. I'm packing my duffel bag. Just shorts, cleats, water bottle, hoodie. Serena walks in holding her phone like she's about to read me my charges in court tomorrow. She says, "We're going to brunch with my sister. Then Bed Bath & Beyond. Then maybe the new outlet mall." I look up. "You're going." "I've got the trip." She blinks. "What trip?" "The one I told you about 3 weeks ago. Group chat. Remember?" Her face does this slow, offended thing. "So you're ditching me for your little boy band instead of spending time with me?" I zip the duffel. "Pretty much, yeah." She crosses her arms. "Marcus, I already told Emily we're coming. She's expecting you." "Then tell Emily I'm not. Easy fix." Serena's tone goes sharp. "You're unbelievable. You'd rather sweat on some hill with Tyler than support my family." I shrug. Tyler doesn't ask me about throw pillows. So yeah. Her jaw drops like I just confessed to a felony. "Do you even care about us?" Brunch isn't us. Brunch is pancakes with extra steps. That's when she hits me with it. "You know, plenty of guys would treat me better. I could walk out whenever I want." I sling the duffel over my shoulder. "Okay. Doors open." Not yelling, not sarcastic. Just an open fact. Serena wasn't used to that. Normally, she'd say the line, and I'd backpedal, promise her dinner next week, whatever. This time, I just grabbed my phone charger and walked past her. She follows me to the door. "You're seriously choosing this over me? Choosing not to get ambushed the night before?" "Yeah." Her voice goes high. "You're selfish. Saturday was on the calendar. Brunch wasn't." She throws her hands up like a ref just called the wrong foul. "I swear, Marcus, one day you're going to wake up and realize you lost the best thing you ever had." "Cool. Text me the date so I can set an alarm." I head out to my car. Behind me, she yells, "Don't bother coming back if you can't make time for me." I point at the door without looking back. "Already open, babe." The thing about Serena, she always needs the last word. Half our fights could have ended 10 minutes sooner if she didn't keep circling back for bonus rounds. I learned a while ago not to play. Driving over to Tyler's, I toss one message in the group chat. "Might be single after this trip. Pack extra beer." Tyler replies, "She pulled the line?" "Yep. Classic." I get to Tyler's around 9. He's on his porch with 2 other guys, Dan and Chris, arguing about whether we should start with the long trail or hit soccer first. Normal stuff. No drama. Inside, Tyler's got camping gear stacked by the door. "You good?" he asks. "Fine." She mad. "Doors open," he laughs. Savage. I drop my bag in the corner. Nah, just tired of being guilt-tripped for having a life outside candle stores. We play some FIFA on his old Xbox. Eat leftover pizza. Plan tomorrow. My phone buzzes twice. Serena. I flip it face down. Whatever speech she's typing can wait. Tyler glances at the screen lighting up. You gonna read that? Nope. He grins. Man of steel. It's just the same script. I pick anything over her, she threatens to leave, I cave. Cycle repeats. Not this time. Dan says. She'll actually move out if you call her bluff? Doubt it. Rent's too high. But she'll post some cryptic quote about self-worth before noon tomorrow. Everyone laughs because we all know it's true. Serena loves the audience almost as much as the argument. Around midnight, I crash on Tyler's couch. Before I sleep, I check my phone. Sure enough, one text from Serena. Don't expect me to wait around forever while you play teenager with your friends. I plug the phone in, turn it over. Doors open. Next morning, 6:30, we're loading up Tyler's truck. Coolers, cleats, backpacks. Serena hasn't texted again, but I catch a new post on her story. Know your worth. Selfie, sad eyes, messy bun. Dan sees it over my shoulder. Yikes. Trouble in paradise. Paradise got cancelled, I say. We hit the road. Windows down, GPS yelling at us about missed exits. Chris complaining about gas prices. I feel fine. Quiet. Like someone turned the background noise off in my head. Halfway to the trail, Tyler says, if she actually leaves, you can crash at mine till you figure stuff out. Appreciate it, I tell him. Not sure I'd need to, but good to know the options there. By the time we reach the trailhead, the sun's up, air's warm. I toss my phone in the glove box. Whatever Serena's typing today can wait till Sunday. We hit the trail by 8:15. Me, Tyler, Dan, Chris, plus Matt, who met us there. 5 total. Weather's good, mid-70s, bit of breeze, clear sky, perfect for hiking. Tyler passes out granola bars from his backpack. Nobody says anything about relationships or drama. Just work stuff, sports, dumb memes. Normal. I keep my phone on silent. Glance at it once. 2 missed calls from Serena. 3 texts. I don't open them. Slide it back in my pocket. Dan notices. Trouble. Not my problem right now. He nods. Doesn't push. Trail's about 4 miles. Nothing crazy, but steep in some spots. Tyler nearly trips over a root because he's talking about fantasy football. Regular Saturday morning. Nothing complicated. At the top, there's a lookout spot with benches. We sit. Pass around water bottles. Matt cracks a joke about how Chris looks like he's about to propose to the view with the amount of photos he's taking. Everyone laughs. We stay up there about 20 minutes, then head down. My phone buzzes again while we're walking. Another text preview. You can't just ignore me all day. I ignore it anyway. Soccer's next. We reach the park by noon. Local pickup game. Nothing serious. We split into 2 teams. Me, Tyler, Matt versus Dan, Chris, plus 2 random guys already there. First game to 5. Tyler plays defense like he's auditioning for a brick wall. I'm rusty but manage 2 goals. Sweat, dirt, grass stains, people yelling scores. Exact opposite energy from Serena's passive-aggressive comments at home. During a break, I check my phone. Serena's posted another story. Crazy how some people show you their priorities. Picture of a half-eaten omelet. Probably from brunch with her sister. Tyler sees over my shoulder. She working the sympathy angle like it owes her money. You care. Not really. We play 2 more games. Lose 1, win 1. Nobody keeps official score. Around 3 we call it. Everyone's starving. We swing by a pizza place near Tyler's apartment. Cheap slices, big tables, grease stains on the menus. Perfect. Matt orders way too much food. Claims leftovers are for dinner. There won't be leftovers. While we eat, Chris asks, so what's the plan when you go home? Apology to her or what? I shake my head. Nope. I told her the schedule 3 weeks ago. She tried to change it last minute. Not playing that game. Dan says, she's going to be mad. She's always mad about something. Tyler adds, difference is you're usually apologizing by now. Yeah. Not this time. We finish the pizza. Matt does, in fact, leave 2 slices for later. Barely. Back at Tyler's place by 5. Everyone crashes in the living room. Some people scrolling phones, others napping. Tyler boots up the Xbox again. Starts another FIFA match with Chris. I sit on the floor, check my phone for the first real time all day. 8 texts from Serena. 3 missed calls. Last one says, "If you don't want this relationship, just say so." I put the phone down. Not answering right now. Around 7, people start heading out. Matt's got a long drive. Chris has family dinner. Dan says he might hit the gym later if he wakes up from his pre-workout nap. Tyler and I stay. He lives here, and I've got the couch tonight. We grab groceries from the corner store. Eggs, rice, chicken, some random snacks. Cook dinner in his tiny kitchen while music plays from his laptop. Basic meal, nothing fancy. While we eat, Tyler says, "So what if she actually leaves?" Then she leaves. You good with that? Better than living with someone who threatens it every week. He nods slowly. Fair. After dinner, I shower, then sit on the couch, scrolling through job postings for no reason. Habit from when I used to freelance. Serena texts again. "Can we talk when you get home?" I don't reply. Tyler's on his laptop looking at apartment listings. He spins the screen toward me. "This one's in your complex. Decent price." I glance at it. "Why you looking?" "Thinking about moving. Closer to work. Plus, we could carpool to the gym." Not a bad idea. He bookmarks it. By 10 o'clock, lights are off except the TV glow. Some crime show plays in the background. My phone's on silent on the coffee table. Before I fall asleep, I think about how quiet the day felt. No yelling, no drama. Just hikes, soccer, friends. I got back Sunday evening around 6:30. Serena was sitting on the couch with her arms crossed. TV on but muted. That look she does when she's building a case in her head. "Fun weekend?" she asked without looking at me. "Yeah," I said, dropping my bag by the door. "Hike, soccer, pizza. Good time." She grabbed the remote, turned the volume down even more like it wasn't already silent. "You couldn't text me back one time." I walked to the kitchen, opened the fridge. I saw the texts and I didn't have anything new to say. She snapped her head toward me. "Normal boyfriends check in with their girlfriends. It's called respect, Marcus." I grabbed a bottle of water. Normal girlfriends don't schedule brunches on top of plans made 3 weeks ago. Her eyes narrowed. "So this is my fault? You're the one mad about plans you knew about?" I said, leaning on the counter. She stood up like the couch was on fire. "Do you even care if this relationship works? Because you act like I'm some burden." I took a drink, set the bottle down. I care enough to ask for basic planning. That's it. No more last-minute ultimatums. She put her hands on her hips. "Ultimatums? It was brunch with my family, which you told me about the night before. I'm not canceling stuff last minute because you snap your fingers." Her voice jumped a notch. "You make it sound like I'm controlling you." I shrugged. "You try to." That hit, because she didn't answer right away. I walked past her to grab my bag from the door. "Look, you want to do something next weekend? Tell me before Friday night. Otherwise, I'm busy." She followed me down the hall. "You're really acting like this is my fault. Like you didn't just ignore me all weekend." I stopped at the bedroom door. "You keep running the same line." I meant it when I said the door's open. Her mouth opened, then closed. Like she didn't expect me to repeat it so flatly. I tossed my dirty clothes in the hamper. Grabbed fresh ones for the gym tomorrow. She stayed in the doorway watching me. "So what? You don't even feel bad?" she finally asked. "Nope," I said, folding a t-shirt. "Plans matter. Respecting people's time matters. You don't get to blow that up and then play victim." She crossed her arms tighter. "You sound like a robot, or someone tired of hearing the same threat every argument." That shut her up again. I pulled out my phone and opened the Notes app. New line, Weekend trip. She tried last-minute brunch. Threats again. Date stamped automatically. She saw me typing. What are you doing? Keeping track, I said. Makes it easier to see patterns. Patterns. Yeah. Threats. Blow-ups. Guilt trips. Helps me remember stuff clearly. She glared. You're unbelievable. Thanks, I said, setting the phone down. She stormed off toward the living room. I heard the TV volume spike. I started meal prepping in the kitchen. Chicken, rice, broccoli. 3 containers lined up on the counter. Serena peeked in halfway through. Since when do you cook like this? She asked. Since I decided to save money and eat better. For who? For me. She made a face like that was a personal attack. So now you're some health nut. No, I said, seasoning the chicken. Just tired of takeout. She didn't have a comeback for that either. While the food cooked, I set my gym plan on the fridge with a magnet. Monday, push. Wednesday, pull. Friday, legs. Simple. Clear. Serena wandered in again while I was packing the meals. Are we going to talk about this? We are talking, I said, snapping a lid on a container. You know what I mean about us. I stacked the meals in the fridge. Then stopped threatening to leave every week. She threw her hands up. So this is my fault again. You keep saying you can leave any time, I said. I'm letting you know it's true. She stared at me like she expected me to back down. I didn't. Finally, she huffed and grabbed her phone. I can't with you right now. Okay, I said, wiping down the counter. She stomped off to the bedroom and shut the door harder than necessary. I set my alarm for 6:30, laid out my gym clothes, packed my work bag. Whole evening felt calm on my end. Around midnight, the bedroom door cracked open. Serena stood there, arms crossed again. So you're just going to go to bed without fixing this? Yep, I said, brushing my teeth. You don't even care. I care enough to want a normal conversation, not threats. She scowled. You're impossible. Good night, Serena. I shut off the light. First time in months, I didn't stay up arguing. Monday after work, I hit the gym like planned. Chest and shoulders. Nothing special. Just stuck to my program. When I got back, Serena was on the couch scrolling her phone, screen brightness all the way up like she wanted me to see it. She didn't say hi, just turned the screen toward me, real casual. Some guy named Brad had left heart emojis on her photo from last night. Same guy she accidentally mentioned once before. I tossed my keys in the bowl by the door. Cool. Her eyebrow twitched. That's all you have to say? Yep. She waited like she thought I'd start an argument. I went to the kitchen, grabbed a protein shake from the fridge. You don't care some guys flirting with me? She called after me. I leaned on the counter. If they're better, why are you still here? She didn't answer that one. Just made a face like I'd ruined her punchline. The rest of the evening stayed quiet. She tried a few times. We need to talk. Why are you so cold lately? But I kept it short. No yelling, no long speeches. By Wednesday, she tried a new tactic. Showed me another post, this time from some dude named Chase. He took me to lunch once, she said, like that was supposed to mean something. Great, I said, lacing up my shoes for the gym. Great, she repeated louder. Yeah. You said you had options. Sounds like they're keeping busy. She stared like she couldn't decide if I was serious or not. I grabbed my bag and left before she figured it out. At the gym, Tyler was finishing deadlifts. You look calm, he said. I feel calm. She easing up? Other way around. Now it's the jealousy games. He racked his weights. Classic. Next, she'll send her friend to call you. Wouldn't surprise me. I hit my sets, showered, went home. Sure enough, phone buzzed an hour later. Unknown number. Hey, this is Jade, the voice said when I answered. Serena's best friend. She's really upset, Marcus. What are you doing? Going to bed early, I said. You know she doesn't mean that stuff about leaving, right? She just says it when she's mad. Then tell her to drop the weekly ultimatum. Jade hesitated. You're being harsh. I'm being clear, I said, and hung up. Next morning, Serena was all sunshine. Made pancakes, coffee, even packed my lunch. Like the weekend fight never happened. Morning, she said sweetly. Morning, I said, grabbing the lunch bag. You like the pancakes? They're fine. She smiled too wide. Maybe we could have a date night Friday. Just us. Friday. I've got soccer, I said, checking my calendar. She deflated like a balloon. Always something else with you lately. Then plan ahead next time. Her jaw tightened. You're impossible. You know that. Been hearing that a lot, I said, grabbing my keys. Work stayed busy that day. An extra project landed on my desk. Small pay bump if I finished it by next week. Perfect timing. More hours. Less time for drama. After work, I threw together a quick batch for the week. Serena hovered like she wanted to start another fight. You're obsessed with this cooking thing, she said finally. I like saving money, I said, weighing out rice. And what? Eating like a bodybuilder? Eating like someone who plans ahead. She rolled her eyes and stormed off to the bedroom. Door slammed. I cleaned up and checked my phone. Tyler had texted an apartment listing. Still open, he wrote. Cheaper than what you're paying now. I saved it. Didn't say anything to Serena about it yet. Friday came. After work, I headed straight to soccer. Serena texted twice. Are we hanging out? And then, guess not. I left them unread. Game went long. We won by 1 point. Tyler cracked jokes the whole time about my marriage counseling through cardio. Afterward, we grabbed burgers near the field. Tyler asked, She still doing the option parade? Yep. Brad, Chase, whoever else she can name drop. He shook his head. She's trying to get a rise out of you. She's going to be waiting a while. Saturday morning, Serena tried one more angle. She walked into the kitchen, holding her phone out like evidence. Brad says I should leave you. He says I deserve better. I poured coffee. So leave. She froze. That's it. That's all you have to say. Doors open, I said, sipping the coffee. Her face went red. You're unbelievable. Thanks, I said, setting the mug down. She stormed off again. Tyler texted an hour later. Apartment guy says he can show it Monday if you want. Yeah, I wrote back. Book it. Serena posted another story that afternoon. Funny how some people only realize what they had when it's gone. I didn't reply. Just saw the preview and moved on. A few weeks later, Thanksgiving at her parents' place. Serena had planned it ahead. Big table, turkey in the oven, her mom, Linda, bustling around with side dishes, her dad, Robert, carving ham, her sister, Emily, already halfway into the rolls. Serena insisted we come. I said, fine. We got there early evening. Serena barely spoke to me on the drive over. Just scrolled her phone and sighed loud enough for me to hear it. Inside, the place smelled like stuffing and gravy. Football on the TV in the background. Relatives everywhere. Her parents, Emily, her Uncle Steve, Aunt Carol, a couple cousins I didn't know well. Big holiday vibe. We sit. Food's getting passed around. Small talk about work, the weather, Emily's new job. Serena keeps leaning back like she's waiting for her moment. It comes halfway through the meal when Linda smiles and says, So, you two seem quiet. Everything good? Serena drops her fork like she's been holding it for this. Depends who you ask. I keep eating mashed potatoes. Robert looks up. Something wrong. Serena stares right at me. Marcus has been distant. Barely texts me back. He's always off doing his own thing. Soccer, gym, whatever excuse he can find. I sip water. You mean the weekend I told you about 3 weeks ago? The one you tried to replace with brunch the night before? She glares. See. Always twisting things. Emily sets down her fork. Wait, you scheduled over his plans? It was brunch, Emily. Serena snaps in front of family. Normal couples spend time together. I set my glass down. Normal couples also don't threaten to leave every time they don't get their way. The table goes quiet. Even the cousins stop chewing. Robert frowns. Threaten to leave? Yep, I say calmly. Her favorite line. Plenty of guys would treat me better. I could walk out whenever I want. Last heard it Friday. Serena's face turns red. You're making it sound worse than it is. Emily laughs. Pretty sure it sounded exactly like that. Whose side are you on? Serena snaps. Emily shrugs. Just saying what it sounds like. Serena looks back at her mom. See, he's turning everyone against me. I cut another piece of turkey. I'm just eating dinner. You're the one giving speeches. Serena glares at me. You act like I'm crazy for wanting to be prioritized. I point my fork at her. No, you act like the world ends if you're not prioritized over everything. Work, friends, hobbies, basic peace of mind. Linda tries to change the subject to football, but Serena won't let it go. He doesn't even care if I leave, she says, eyes on me. Door's been open since Friday, I say, calm as ever. Her jaw drops. You don't even deny it. Why would I? You keep saying it like it's your catchphrase. Robert sets down his fork. If you tell someone you can leave any time, don't be surprised if they start believing you. Serena looks at him like he just kicked her puppy. Wow. Thanks, Dad. She glares at the whole table now. Unbelievable, all of you. I grab another roll. Yeah, we're the problem. She slams her napkin down. I'm leaving. Serena storms out, heels clicking across the hardwood like gunfire. After dinner, I head outside. Serena's in the car, arms crossed, glaring out the windshield. The second I start driving, she goes off. You made me look insane in front of my whole family. I keep my eyes on the road. You gave them the full show yourself. They think I'm the problem now. Maybe stop proving them right. She slaps the dashboard. You're so cold. Or just done playing along. She doesn't answer. Just stares out the window the whole ride back. At home, she starts yanking clothes out of the closet into a suitcase. You moving out, or just another rehearsal? I ask, leaning on the doorway. Maybe I will move out, she snaps. Want me to text a mover number? She spins around. You're impossible. Thanks, I say, grabbing a bottle of water from the fridge. Monday after work, Serena was already in full dramatic mode when I walked in. Suitcase half zipped, clothes piled on the bed. Her music playing loud like this was a movie scene. You really don't care, do you? She said, arms crossed. I set my keys down. You've been packing for 3 days. At some point, it's either moving or cosplay. Her eyes narrowed. I can't afford a place on my own right now, but maybe I should leave anyway, just to prove a point. I leaned against the doorway. What point? That rent's expensive? Already knew that one. She grabbed another handful of clothes. You make me feel unwanted. No, I said calm. You make yourself feel that way by threatening to leave every week. I just finally stopped arguing. She froze mid-pack like she didn't expect that. I headed to the kitchen, started making dinner. Same meal prep stuff. Chicken, rice, broccoli. She followed me in, arms still crossed. You're unbelievable, she said. Thanks, I replied, seasoning the chicken. Most guys would fight for their girlfriend. Most girlfriends wouldn't treat leaving like a hobby. She made this offended noise and stormed back to the bedroom. I made dinner, cleaned up, and called it a night. 10 minutes later, she came out holding her phone like a weapon. Brad says I can stay with him if I need to, she said. Cool, I said, scrolling through my emails. That's all you have to say. If he's better, why are you still here? She huffed, grabbed her purse, and slammed the door on her way out. Tyler texted right after. Apartment guy says showing at 6 o'clock tomorrow works. You in? Yeah, I wrote back. Next day, we met the landlord at the complex. Place was smaller than mine but decent. 2 bedrooms, newer appliances, close to the gym. Tyler liked it immediately. I'll take it, he said after the walkthrough. The landlord smiled. You 2 roommates? Nope, I said. I'm staying where I am. Tyler looked at me. Wait, so she moves out, I move in next door. That's cold. I shrugged. Timing worked out. Back at my apartment, Serena was on the couch scrolling her phone. I told her Tyler took the open unit. She looked up fast. He's moving here next week? Yep. Her mouth tightened. So you're replacing me with your friend? No, I said, grabbing my gym bag. Just continuing life without threats. She glared. You really don't care if I leave. Door's still open, I said, heading out. At the gym, Tyler laughed when I told him. She's going to hate living alone. She wanted options, I said, loading plates on the bar. Yeah. He smirked. Options with $1,200 rent. After lifting, I hit the store for groceries, then went home. Serena was in the bedroom packing again. This is toxic, she said as I walked by. Then leave, I said, setting bags on the counter. She stomped out. You're seriously okay with this? Same script for months. Either do it or drop it. I was done reacting. She didn't answer. Next morning, she asked if I'd cover half her rent for a few months until things settled. No, I said, tying my shoes for work. Wow, real supportive. You want independence or not? She glared but didn't push it. By Thursday, she found a studio across town. Cheap old building, nothing special. She signed the lease and started moving small stuff over that night. About a week later, she was already touring units closer to my building. I helped carry one box to her car. Just one. You don't care at all, do you? She asked, slamming the trunk. I care enough to want peace, I said. Haven't had that in a while. She drove off without answering. Weekend came. Tyler started moving into the unit next door. We carried boxes up the stairs, set up his couch, fixed a wobbly table leg. Serena showed up halfway through to grab more of her stuff. She looked around at Tyler's things. So this is it. Replaced in one weekend. Nobody replaced you, I said, carrying a box past her. You left. She crossed her arms. I didn't think you'd actually let me. I shrugged. Actions, consequences. She muttered something under her breath, loaded her car, and drove off again. By Sunday, my apartment felt different. Quiet. No passive-aggressive sighs, no slamming doors, no random speeches about brunch plans. Tyler knocked on my door later. Neighbors now, he grinned. Yep, I said. He handed me a spare key to his place. Gym at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Works for me. We set up a weekly routine. Gym 3 times a week. Soccer on Fridays. 1 weekend a month for hiking. Apartment complex started feeling like a campus with 2 units instead of 1. Meanwhile, Serena posted pictures of her new independent life online. Same captions every time. Fresh start. Knowing my worth. Focusing on me. Tyler laughed when he saw one. She acting like she left you. She left, I said, shrugging. Just not the way she wanted. Late-night messages started the next week. First one at 11:42 p.m. Can we talk? I didn't reply. Second one came 2 days later. I miss what we had. Still didn't reply. Next night she actually called. I let it ring, but she left a voicemail. Her voice shook like she'd been crying. Said Brad wasn't who she thought he was, that things weren't working out the way she planned. I just put my phone face down on the counter and kept packing meals for the week. For the first time in months, everything felt simple and quiet. And 2 weeks after Serena moved out, life felt completely different. No slamming doors, no late-night lectures, no last-minute demands. Apartment stayed clean. Fridge stayed stocked. Gym routine stayed solid. Tyler and I had a good system. Monday, Wednesday, Friday lifts. Saturday soccer. Sundays were errands and meal prep. Work picked up too. My boss handed me a new project after seeing the last one finished early. A small bonus hit my account. I ordered a new set of weights for the apartment and fixed the leaky faucet Serena used to complain about, but never called the landlord for. Serena, meanwhile, posted non-stop. Independent woman life captions with pictures of instant noodles and one folding chair in her studio apartment. One night, Tyler showed me a post. Sometimes the best thing you can do is start over. He raised an eyebrow. She okay? She wanted options, I said, lining up meal prep containers. He smirked. Bet the options went quiet once rent showed up. I didn't answer. Late-night texts started soon after. First one at 12:14 a.m. I can't sleep. Miss you. I didn't reply. Next night. Maybe we could talk. Just as friends. Still didn't reply. By the weekend she called twice. I let it ring. Tyler saw the screen light up. She doesn't give up easy, huh? Doors open, I said, sealing another container. Just not for the same person anymore. Saturday afternoon, we had our usual soccer game. Afterward, we grilled at Tyler's place. Steaks, vegetables, simple stuff. Music played low from a speaker. Everyone hung out laughing, swapping stories about work and gym fails. The whole evening felt easy. Around 9 o'clock, I ran back to my place to grab more drinks from my fridge. That's when I saw Serena in the parking lot standing by her car. She spotted me immediately. Marcus. I set the drinks on my hood. Hey. Hey. That's all you have to say. I shrugged. What's up? She crossed her arms. We need to talk. I unlocked my door. About us, she said. About what happened. I leaned on the car. Pretty sure it already happened. Her jaw tightened. You really don't care, do you? You left, I said calmly. You made speeches about it for months. Then you did it. What's left to care about? She took a step closer. I made a mistake. I shook my head. No, you made about 20. Same one on repeat. Her voice cracked like she was about to cry, but no tears came. We had 3 years, Marcus. 3 years of hearing how plenty of guys would treat you better, I said. Guess they're busy now. She glared. You're cruel. No, I said, grabbing the drinks off the hood. I'm just not playing the game anymore. She looked toward Tyler's unit, where music and laughter drifted out. So what? You just replace me with your friends? They were here before you left, I said. Difference is they don't threaten to bail every week. She didn't have a comeback for that. I opened my door. Take care, Serena. Wait, she said quickly. We could try again. Start over. I paused. Why? So we can run the same script next month? I can change, she said softly. Then change, I said. But not here. Her face fell like she expected some big romantic gesture. None came. I closed the door, carried the drinks back to Tyler's. He raised an eyebrow when I walked in. That her? Yeah. What did she want? Do-over. He smirked. You give her one? No. Everyone else kept talking about work and sports like nothing happened. Serena eventually drove off. The next week, I saw her in the lobby touring a cheap one-bedroom on the first floor in our complex. Marcus, she said, like we were old friends. I nodded. Looking at places? She shrugged. Maybe. It's close to you. Tyler and I got game night Friday, I said, pointing upstairs. Should be fun. She shifted her bag on her shoulder. We could talk before then. Maybe I could come by, join you guys. I shook my head. Not a good idea. Her eyebrows pulled together. Why not? Because it's game night, I said. For people who don't threaten to leave every week. She opened her mouth, closed it, looked at the floor. So that's it. That's it, I said, pushing the door open. Take care, Serena. Friday came. Tyler hosted game night. Cards, board games, some coworkers, a couple neighbors. Music, food, laughter. The whole building probably heard us. Around 10, someone knocked on my door. Serena again. I stepped outside, closed it behind me. She looked tired. "I miss you," she said simply. I leaned on the railing. "Miss me or miss rent help?" Her eyes flashed. "Wow." I shrugged. "You wanted independence? You got it." She looked toward the parking lot. "If I leave now, that's it. No second chances." "Doors open," I said. "Just not for you anymore." She didn't answer. I went back inside. Music got louder. Tyler handed me a drink. "Handled." "Handled," I said. Game night kept going. Cards slapped the table. People laughed. Someone yelled about cheating, even though nobody was keeping score. Later, walking back to my place, I realized it was the first month in years without a single threat, fight, or guilt trip. Quiet felt good. Door stayed open.